Almost every single CCTV cache defense and attack pays special attention to the CCTV wall. In fact, it's probably the most interesting wall in the game, and certainly the most influential on Clubhouse. It seems that every couple of months or so, there's a new way of preventing attackers' ability to open it, and not so long after that, a way for attackers to counter it. The reason so much focus goes into either keeping this wall closed or opening it is because a player repelled outside of it has a tremendous amount of influence over this area of the map. They can prevent anyone rotating out of rafters, and also anyone rotating out of cache. So with this position being such a strong one, you could rightly assume that it is vital to occupy during a CCTV cache attack. That is, unless you ask BDS. It's no secret that BDS, perhaps the most dominant team in competitive Siege right now, has a playstyle that is unique and distinct to themselves. Their CCTV cache attacks certainly do nothing to detract from that statement. While most teams can spend a good portion of the round and their utility to open CCTV wall, BDS, at least as of recently, choose to not even lay their eyes on it. Instead, they opt for a purely west side overtake. So how exactly do BDS make this work? In large part, it is due to their mechanical skill, but that isn't to say that there aren't some tactics and mindsets which allow BDS to win these rounds so often. Though a lot of us may not enjoy this style of Siege and label it as almost lucky, I think we should be hesitant to do so. Rather than being upset about it, let's take a look at BDS's attack and attempt to learn something from it. One thing which is a constant for BDS in these attacks is the speed with which they take control of construction. Generally, it takes them only about a minute or so to be knocking on cache's doorstep. This means that defenders within cache need to be primed and ready for an execute to happen for about 2/3 of the round. BDS are able to do this through coordinated drone work. Rafal initially drones himself in through gym and up to main stairs, while Shaiko and Bride drone out the remainder of this side of the top floor. What's very important and quite strong for this attack is setting up a flank drone at the bottom of main stairs. This is where perhaps the most vital component of this attack comes into play. This component is a lens on Zofia sat just outside of stock, flipping between this flank drone and one which is presumably near stock or lounge in order to prevent anyone running out on him, or a C4 playing below. While this is happening, the remainder of the team sets up within construction and outside CCTV window while Shaiko looked for that crucial opening pick. Bride attempts to open the construction wall to allow for more deep sightlines into cache with the help of Renshiro on either Thatcher or Kali. Their only real blockade now is either Vitality cleverly countering this, Reaper just made a great video on this which I'm sure you've already seen but I'll link it anyways, or someone sat on construction wall impact tricking. But BDS have already thought of this, and for the most part it isn't an issue. Since they aren't opening CCTV wall, BDS have at least 5 potential chances to get this wall open. But even better than that, Alems can largely prevent this impact trick, or at least make it more difficult by using his gadget right here. This not only lowers the threat of an impact trick, but also pretty much ensures that a defender won't be playing in this position once it comes time to execute onto site. Once the wall is open and the execute is ready to begin, Alem snakes his way into the map and towards red stairs. What we generally see during this execute is one player positioned outside of CCTV window, cutting off rafters rotation and ready to jump in to contribute to the site take, while the remainder of the players flood through breach and cache door, picking up the remaining overwhelmed site defenders. In order to shut this down, defenders typically need to focus most of their attention towards the construction side of the map, which is where Alem's coming up red stairs is able to save the round, killing these distracted defenders. Now I'm not going to say that this is my favorite way of attacking cache CCTV, or that it is better than your default take. But what interests me with this is that even though it shouldn't work, it does, and does so pretty consistently, at least for BDS. Do I recommend that you do this with your rank stack? Definitely not. I'm sure BDS have dry ran this attack for more hours than you have played on Clubhouse. And it's this consistency and this ability to rely on your teammates to do what they do best that allows them to be so successful even when it doesn't seem like they should be.